Students, today, this morning, we are going to read about the second lesson from your English literature textbook, Moonbeam, the turning point. You know who is the author of this lesson? Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is the author of this lesson. He is known as the Missile Man of India and served as the 11th President of the Indian Republic. He was born on 15th October 1931 at Rameswaram in Tamil Nadu. He expired on July 27th, 2015 at Shillong. Dr. Kalam is also the author of several books and has written many poems for children. What do you mean by turning point? A point at which a significant change occurs. There are synonyms for a turning point: corner, landmark, milepost, milestone, watershed, etc. Here we can read that sometimes an event may bring about an important change in the life of a person, a group, or a country. Such an event acts as turning point. So which event stand as a turning point? Discuss how these events can act as turning point and for whom. Certain events are given below. It can be a turning point in the life of a person or a group or of a country. See the first event. A student win a scholarship. When a student win a scholarship, the most obvious benefit of scholarship is that they make college more affordable. Scholarship can give students the financial bump needed to take a leap and enroll in a degree, as well as a boost to morale and a students' confidence in their ability to work toward a better future. Loses his wicket of the first ball. In cricket, the term wicket has several meanings. First, it is one of the two set of three stumps and two bails at either end of the pitch. The wicket is guarded by a batsman who with his bat and sometimes with his pads, but see the law on LBW, leg before wicket, attempt to prevent the ball for hitting the wicket and to score runs where possible. Second, through metonymic usage, the dismissal of a batsman is known as the taking of a wicket. And third, the wicket pitch itself is sometimes referred to incorrectly according to the laws of cricket as the wicket. Metonymic means the act of referring to something by the name of something else that is closely connected with it. For example, using the White House for the US President. Third, a scientist find a cure for cancer. You know, cancer treatment and decoction has progressed in leaps and bounds since 3000 BC. When ancient Egyptians concluded there was no way to treat the disease, advances have particularly grown over the past couple of decades. Next generation sequencing to detect circulating tumor DNA is a minimally invasive method for identifying potential therapeutic target. This may allow patients to take advantage of targeted therapies which have impressive result in patients with a specific genetic mutation or alternation in tumor DNA. A country discover oil reserve off its coast. What does it mean? If a country is energy independent, how long will world oil reserve last? It can help the whole country positively if discover oil reserves of its coast. Okay, let us read the lesson. I remember my teacher, Sri Shiva Subramania Iyer, who taught me in class 5th. It was he who sowed the seed of a vision in my life. He was a very good teacher and all of us loved to attend his class. The narrator recollecting his early experience about his teacher. What is the name of his teacher? Sri Shiva Subramania Iyer. In which class he taught the narrator? He taught him in class 5th. So, the narrator is recollecting it was he who sowed the seed of vision in my life. So, who sowed the seed of vision in the life of the narrator? Sri Shiva Subramania Iyer. It was in which class? While he was studying in a 5th class. He is remembering that the teacher was a good teacher. All of the students loved to attend his class. Next paragraph. One day, he was teaching us about a bird's flight. He drew a diagram of a bird in flight and explained how it creates lift. He also explained how it changes direction while flying. For 25 minutes, he lectured us on things such as lift, drag, and how birds fly in formation of 10, 20, and 30. So here we read that one day the teacher was teaching them about a bird's flight. How birds fly. Bird's flight is the primary mode of locomotion used by most birds species in which birds take off and fly. A bird's wing acts as an airfoil. A curved surface evolved to provide lift and reduce drag. Air pushed into the airfoil. You know the flight of birds. Flight probably evolved from gliding as feathers become elongated, perhaps for display. They became more suitable to support flight. Most adaptators a bird has for flight. Most adaptators A bird has four flight are based on two basic factors. First one is the increased power and second one is the decreased weight. To have both the power and the lightness needed to fly, there have been a number of structural modifications in both the muscular and skeletal system. Ornithologically, there are four forces that act on a flying machine in flight, whether bird, bat, insect, or airplane. They are lift, thrust, drag, and gravity. So, what is lift? To move somebody or something to a higher level or position. Thrust means to punch somebody or something suddenly or violently. Drag means to pull somebody or something along with difficulty. In the second paragraph, we were reading that the teacher were teaching them a bird flight. With the help of diagram, he explained how it creates lift. He also explained how it changes direction while flying. For 25 minutes, he lectured us on things such as lift, drag, and how birds fly in formation of 10, 20, and 30. Okay, at the end of the class, next paragraph, he wanted to know whether we had understood how a bird flies. I said I had not understood. When I said this, he asked whether the others had understood or not. Many students said that they too had not understood. Our teacher was really concerned about this, but he did not get upset by our response. After explaining about the bird's flight with the help of the diagram, the teacher asked the class whether they could understand how a bird flies. But the narrator said that he couldn't understand. And then teacher asked to other students. So what was the answer of the many of the students? Many students said that they too had not understood. As a result, teacher did not get upset. Okay, next sentence. He wanted us to understand the principle of flight. So, he said that he would take all of us to the seashore. When teacher came to know that most of the students were not able to understand from his explanation that how a bird fly or get fly. So, what the teacher wanted them to do? He wanted them to understand the principle of flight. So, he said that he would take all of them to the seashore. So, in order to understand it in a better way, the teacher has decided to take them to a seashore. This picture is taken as they stand in a seashore. You can understand that. Okay, come to the next page. First paragraph. That evening, the whole class was on the beach. He drew our attention to the seagulls flying in formation. There were about 20 of them. Now, where are the class? They are in the seashore. The teacher told them to watch the seagulls flying. How they fly? They are flying in formation. There were about 20 of them. You can see in the picture how they fly in formation. The teacher asked them to watch this scenery. So you know what is the meaning of a seashore? Seashore is a bank or coast or ocean front. It can also be known as a seaside or seafront. So what is seagulls? Seagulls or gulls are seabirds of the family Lariidae in the suborder Lari. They are most closely related to the tame family Sternidae. Formation flying is the disciplined flight. Amazed mean astonished or surprised, wondered. It was a marvelous formation of birds with a purpose, and we were all amazed as we began to recall what we had heard that morning. The teacher then asked us to look at the birds' wings, how they flap to generate lift. He asked us to look at the tail and the combination of flapping wings and twisting tails. We looked closely and found that the birds in that position could fly the direction they wanted to. Then he asked us a question. What was the question? Can you tell me whether the bird's engine is and how it is powered? What was the question? Can you tell me where the bird's engine is and how it is powered? In this paragraph, you can see that the teacher particularly asked the children to watch birds' wings, how they flap to generate lift. He asked to look at the tail and the combination of flapping wings and twisting tails. Flapped means of a bird move its wings up and down when flying or preparing to fly. Generate means produce or create. Tail, you know, the part of the end of the body of an animal, bird or fish, etc. See here, twisting tail. Twisting means to bend or turn something into a particular shape or to be bent in this way, in a particular way. So the teacher asked them to look at the bird's wings, how they flap to generate lift. He asked them to look at the tail and the combination of flapping wings and twisting tails. So they observed closely and found that the birds in that position could fly the correct direction they want. So what they could understand from that bird watching, they found that the birds in that position could fly the direction they want to. So next paragraph we read like this. We know the answer to that questions. All the aspects of the principle of flight became clear to us within the next 15 minutes. We understood clearly the dynamics of a bird flight with the practical example in front of our eyes. Our teacher was the greatest. he had given us a lesson in theory as well as in practice. This is real teaching and learning, I thought to myself. So in this paragraph, the narrator is telling his experience that they were able to understand all the aspects of the principle of flight. How they could understand the theory of flight while watching closely as the given instruction of their teacher in the shore of Rameswaram. They were able to understand all the aspect of the principle of flight. You can see here the word aspect means one of the qualities or part of a situation, idea or problem, etc. Next you can see dynamic. What is the meaning here? The scientific laws involved in the involvement of a bodies. The scientific laws involved in the movement of bodies. So the author is telling here that with the help of the practical example, they were able to understand the principle of flight clearly. Okay, let us go to the exercise part. See questions 2a. It was he who sowed the seed of a vision in my life. He was a very good teacher and all of us loved to attend his class. Okay, that is a quoting from the first paragraph of this lesson. You can see here, it was he who sowed the seed of a vision in my life. He was a very good teacher and all of us loved to attend his class. How you have to answer that question? Answer this question with a reference to the context. First you have to write the reference of that question, that statement. Next you have to write its context. Okay, you have to write like this. Reference. These lines have been taken from the lesson The Turning Point, written by APJ Abdul Kalam from class 6 English Literature textbook Moonbeam. What is the context? Dr. Kalam recollect his early student's life and his teacher. Who is his teacher? Sri Shiva Subramani Iyer, who taught him in class 5th, and his influence in Kalam's life. So there are 3 questions. You have to answer that questions. First one, what was the name of the narrator's teacher? In which class did he teach him? Okay, the answer is Kalam's teacher Sri Shiva Subramani Iyer taught him in which class? In 5th class. Question second, how did the teacher sow the seed of vision in the life of the narrator? Answer, the teacher's lesson of the flight of birds gave Kalam his mission for life. It was on the seashore of Rameswaram where he decided to learn everything about the concept of flight, and eventually he moved toward the study of the science of flight. Third one, why do you think students love to attend his class? Answer is, students love to attend his class as he imparted theoretical as well as practical knowledge, ensuring that each student understood his lessons. You can take a screenshot of this page also. As well as you have to learn this word meaning. Word meanings of this page also you have to take a screenshot. Okay, students, learn these pages and come with a preparation for the next class. Thank you.
In primary classes, we have learned about the units of length, unit of mass, and capacity. Length units is meter and centimeter, mass unit kilogram and gram, and capacity units liter and milliliter. The thickness of a pencil cannot be measured in centimeter, and thickness of our hair cannot measure in centimeter. So we use the smallest unit, that is millimeter. So 1 centimeter equal to 10 millimeter. And the distance between two cities, says Kanpur to Lucknow and Kanpur to Agra, cannot measure in meter or in small units. So we measure in larger unit, that is kilometer. The mass of medicine tablet given to the sick person cannot be measured in gram. So we again need a smaller unit. This unit is called the milligram. So most of units you are familiar in previous classes. So now again we revise them. So that is the unit conversion. A very simple way. The conversion of unit is very simple. Let us solve the question number 1. Here, exercise 1.5, question number 1, A part. It's very easy. 23 meter in centimeter. So, meter. Because 1 meter, check, this is the unit, meter to centimeter. Ones, tens, 100. 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter. Therefore, 23 meters is equal to 100 into 23 equal to 2300 centimeter. This is the answer. So remaining parts you can solve. 12 kg in gram. So 1 kg equal to 1000 gram. So multiply 12 by 1000 and some 85 kilometer in meter. So 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meter. So multiply 85 by 1000. 5 kilometer in millimeter. 5 kilometer. Kilometer in millimeter. So ones, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000 lakh, 10 lakh. So multiply by 10 lakh. Okay. So now check the question number 2. Shekhar is a famous cricket player. He has so far scored 6,980 runs in test matches. He wishes to complete 10,000 runs. So how many more runs does he need? Simply, he needs the runs. Question number 2. He needed is equal to 10,000 minus 6,980. 6,980 is equal to, subtract it, so you get how many? Answer 3020. That is 3020 runs. Question number 3. Kirti bookstore sold books worth rupees 2,85,891 in the first week of June and book worth 4,768 in the second week of the month. How much was the sale for the 2 weeks together in this week? So let us check. Given in first week, $2,85,891, and in second week selling is 4,768 rupees. So which week sales most book? So you check here, ones, tens, hundreds, or it was first lakhs. Which is greater? 4 is greater than the 2. Since second week has the greatest book sale. How much was the sale for 2 weeks together? The sale of 2 weeks together, therefore, the sale of 2 weeks together, the sale of 2 weeks together is equal to 285,891 plus 4,00768 is equal to rupees. Add it and you get 68,665. 68,665.9. Ones, tens, hundred, thousand, 10,000, lakh. 6,86,659 rupees. In which week was the sale greater and by how much? The sale was greater in second week. The sale was greater in second week. And how much? So you subtract it, you get 4,768 minus 2,85,891 is equal to 1148,114,877. 1,14,877. I hope you understand this question. Now, next question. You can solve easily. Find the difference between the greatest and the smallest number that can be written using the digits. Digits are given. Question number 4, 6, 2, 7, 4, 3. So greatest number greatest number is equal to. We want to find the greatest number, so we write the given digit in descending order. So first we write the greatest number, that is the 7, then 6, then 4, then 3, and then 2. So you check here, 76,432. This is the greatest number. And the smallest number is equal to. When we write the smallest number, we have to write the digit in ascending order. So smallest digit is 2, and then 3, then 4, then 6, and then 7. So it is 23,467. And now can be written using the digits and find the difference between. So difference, you subtract it, you get the minus 12,7, and you get the difference. And how much difference is there? 529, 52965. It is 1275, 1266, carry 1, 1349, carry 15, 553. How much you get? 4409. Okay. 6. What is this? This is the wrong. You get here 2. So that is the 52,965. Hence, question number 5. Question number 5. The distance between the school and the house of the students is 1 kilometer 875 meters. Every day she walk both way, one way and first way. So there is the distance, school here, school to home. How much distance? 1 kilometer 875. So he one way, and again he comes two ways. So distance she walk in one day. She walk in one day is equal to 1 point, or say 1 kilometer, sorry, 1.875 kilometer into 2 way, one way, and comes again second way. So multiply by 2. Therefore, she will walk in 6 days. She will walk in 6 days is equal to, multiply it, 2 5s are 10, 2 7s are 14, 1 15, 2 8s are 16, 1 17, and 2 1s are 2, and 3. Multiply by 6, you get 600, 6 5s are 30, 3 carry, 6 7s are 42, 45, and 6 3s are 18, and 4, that is 22. It is 22.5 kilometer, or you say 22 kilometer and 500 meters. So students, watch this table. When we go from left to right, kilo, hecto, deca, unit, deci, centi, and milli. Unit, and I explain the unit of length that is meter, unit of mass, that is gram, unit of capacity, that is liter. So first we talked about the length. First we talk about the length. So there is a different unit of length. Kilo, we use the unit. So first that is the unit of length, that is a meter. So we use the kilometer, hectometer, decameter, meter, decimeter, centimeter and millimeter. So larger will be larger and smaller will be smaller. So according to this table, when we converted larger number to smaller number or go to right, sorry, left to right, then we have to multiply. And when we convert smaller to larger, then we have to divide. Remember this point. So, and another things I write here: ones, tens, 100,000, 10,000, lakh, and 10 lakhs. So first, 5 kilometer into meter, that is the unit conversion. So 5 kilometer convert into meter. Here the larger will be more larger. So how? So first we check kilometers. How many meters are there in 1 kilometer? So how many days are there? 3 days. So we write 0 and 0 and 0. So you get, starting from here, ones, tens, 100,000. Okay. So that is 1,000. So because 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meter. Therefore, 5 kilometer is equal to 1,000 into 5 is equal to 5,000 meter. Is it clear? When we convert smaller unit to large unit, meter converted into kilometer. So just we have 1 kilometer equal to 1,000 meter. So here we multiply 5 by 1,000. Here we divide it because 1,000 meter equal to 1 kilometer. Therefore, 1 meter is equal to 1 upon 1,000 kilometer. Therefore, 2,563 meter is equal to 1 upon 1,000 into 2,563 and is equal to divided. So there is the 30. So we place the decimal after from the right side 30. 2.563 kilometer. So this is about the length. And same, when we say how many millimeter in 1 centimeter, we write 1 here and 0 here. You get 10 millimeter in 1 centimeter. How many millimeter in 1 decimeter? So there is a 100 millimeter in 1 decimeter. Or you can also directly solve like this. 5 kilometer into meter. So put the 5 here and meter 0, 0, 0. So 5 kilometer converted into meter, 5,000 meter. I hope you understand it is very easy. Now we talk about the other unit, that is gram. Other unit, that is gram. So just change the unit only. And the question is same. So we write here unit of mass. Talk about the mass. You obviously talk a larger unit of kg, how many kg, and hectograms, decagram, units, and grams. So that is the kilogram, hectogram, decagram, gram, decigram, centigram, and milligram. Question is same. 5 kilogram change into gram. So same. 1 gram. How many? 1 kilogram. How many gram? 1000. Because 1 kg is equal to 1000 gram. Therefore, 5 kg equal to 1000 into 5 equal to 5000 gram. Same. Here gram convert into kilogram. So 1000. So we talk about the gram. Divide it. 1000 gram equal to 1 kilogram. So 1 gram is equal to 1 upon 1000 kilogram. Therefore, 2560 gram equal to, here write the unit, kilogram. And same method we applied on the capacity. We change here kilo, liter, hectoliter, decaliter, and liter. Same things. We change here kiloliter, hectoliter, and decaliter, liter, deciliter, centiliter, milliliter, and so on. So now I am giving the exercise and you solve these questions if you understand it. Okay. So now homework from the concept. Convert first 246 kiloliter into milliliter. Second part 2567 milligram into gram. Third question 25 kg into centigram. Fourth 45 hectogram into milligram. And fifth 4678 meter into kilometer. And sixth questions 35 kilometer into decameter. So solve these questions and send me for the correction in my WhatsApp number 91401673. That is my WhatsApp number. Thank you. Pause the video and note the question and solve them.
दिक्कत हो जाएगी आ रहा है Good morning to everybody. Again, I am going to explanation chapter number 1, introducing history in briefly. I had explained 2 days whole chapter. Again, I am going to explanation that you can understand it very smoothly and in a good way. If I ask what is history, to history is an unending dialogue between the present and the past. It means we continue to look at the past to understand our present. Underline the hard words, or you can write in your copy word meaning evolution, the process by which different kinds of living or organism develop from earlier. Second topic is that we should study history. History is very important in understanding both the past and the present. History also helps in knowing about kings, kingdoms, and more about the lives of men and their activities. History also tells us about the past settlement and their economy, social, and cultural life. It throws light on the clothes, food of people, their beliefs, and their work. In a summarized form, what is the meaning of summarize? Underline it. Brief statement of the main points of something. It tells us how we have reached a state we live in today, and it also help us to guide for imagine. Imagine means assume, you can underline the future by understanding how things transform with experience and learning from them. Nuts and bolts. Herodotus of Halicarnassus was a Greek historian who lived in the 5th century BCE. Full stop. He is regarded as the father of history in Western culture. If I ask you who is known as father of history, you should tell Herodotus. Sources of history. In our quest, what is the meaning of quest? A long search. Underline it. To know history, we need to look the records of past events. These records are called the sources of history. Some of these records are written as literacy material, while others are material excavated. What is the underline it? Make a hole by digging from the grounds. Let's learn more about them. The aforementioned sources are dealt with either sources of history. Number 1, archaeological sources, fossil remains, tools and implements, edicts and inscriptions, artifacts, monuments, coins. Literacy sources, religious texts, and secular literature. Archaeological sources, they include the remains of buildings, pottery, weapons, toys, ornaments, bones, grains, remains of plants, etc. The science of exploring and excavating the remains of the past is called archaeology. The person or experts who study it are called archaeologists. Fossil remains. Fossils are basically imprints of plants, animals, or humans preserved in rocks. These have been buried there for millions of years. Full stop. These are usually the remains of the hard body parts such as bones or skulls, which have permanent mark on the rock due to long and continuous contact. Tools and implements. Man used tools for running his day-to-day life smoothly. He made crude tools in the beginning from the hard stone, by later from flint, another variety of grey stone. Thus he make better tools with sharper edge, knife-like blade, a board, and similar articles. An edict is a royal command. It is issued for the pupil to do some activity or to keep away from doing some activity. Such official orders were engraved on metals, stones, rocks, or pillars. Full stop. Thousands of these edicts were found during the excavation in the Harappan Valley belonging to 3000 BC. Certain important activities or events relating to kings were also found engraved. These are called inscription. Engraved means cave design on a hard surface. What are artifacts? Artifacts means works of and made by humans like pottery, statues, tools, ornaments, etc. Full stop. They highlight contemporary cultural life of the pupil. The specimens of sculptures found at Taxila that belong to the period of Kanishka. Taxila actually is a city which belonged to the time of Kanishka. Kanishka was a great king. Through light on a Gandhara school of art and its influence on Indian art. Our buildings, caves, stupas, and temples are of great historical importance. So, what are the historical importance? If I ask you, ruins of the buildings, caves, stupas, and temples are the great historical importance. Stupas at Barhat and Sanchi, it is situated in Madhya Pradesh, and the caves at Ellora and Ajanta let us know a lot about the religion and art of ancient India. Full stop. The temples at Mahabalipuram and at Tanjavur were not only places of worship but also centers of social and cultural activities. Coins. Coins help us to learn about the ruler of a particular kingdom. So what does the coin help us? Coins help us to learn about the ruler of a particular kingdom. They also provide information about the religion and the extent of territories of the ruler. Coins also tell us about the socio-economic condition of the kingdom. Literacy sources are written records. Before the invention of paper, pupil used to write on the bark of birch tree or a palm leaf. These are called manuscripts. If I ask you what are manuscripts, you should tell that before the invention of paper, pupil used to write on the bark of birch tree or a palm leaf. These are called manuscripts. Over the period of time, these have been destroyed as they were very fragile. Underline it, fragile means damaged and were eaten away by insect. Some of them have survived and have been kept in monasteries, temples, or under the care of government in various museums. The literature is basically divided in two categories, religious and secular. Religious literature. Ancient Indian literature was written in Prakrit. If I ask you, name the ancient Indian literature, you can tell it Prakrit, Pali, Sanskrit or Tamil. So what are the ancient literature? Prakrit, Pali, Sanskrit or Tamil. The language or the medium or expression varied from region to region. As we can see, Mahabharata and Ramayana were written in Sanskrit language. Mahabharata and Ramayana, two main epics of India, which were written in Sanskrit language. Because they were written in North India, where Sanskrit was the main language. In North India, Sanskrit was the main language. However, Manimekalai and Silapadikaram were written in Tamil as they were written in South India. Secular literature is inclusive of the historical accounts and biographies written by poets and the accounts given by foreign travelers. So secular literature is inclusive of the historical accounts and biographies written by poets and the accounts given by foreign travelers. They were written in the form of travelogues to record events, customs of the contemporary society, and administrative rules and regulation. Books such as the Dharmasastras and Kautilya's Arthashastra belong to this category. Earlier, I told you Arthashastra was written by Kautilya. Underline it. Another name of Kautilya was Chanakya. Written accounts of the foreign travelers like the Greek ambassador Megasthenes. Who was Megasthenes? He was a Greek ambassador, as I already told you in the last class. In the court of Chandragupta Maurya. Who was Megasthenes? He was a Greek ambassador who came in the court of Chandragupta Maurya. Writings of the Chinese traveler. Name the two Chinese travelers. You can see Faiyan and Huan Sang, who visited India, also come in the category of secular literature. Nuts and bolts. Study of inscription or epigraph is called epigraphy. What is epigraphy? Study of inscription or epigraph is called epigraphy. A person conducting this study is called an epigrapher or epigraphist. Who are epigrapher? A person conducting this study is called an epigrapher or epigraphist. The frame of society. Historians classify the sources according to the time. Chronology is the order to which a series of events had happened. Historians had arranged all the events in a sequence on the basis of time. The birth of Jesus Christ was taken as the reference point from which the time is calculated. We are calculating the time after the birth of Jesus Christ. Time in history is studied in the form of BC and AD. BC stands for before Christ. It refers to the period before the birth of Jesus Christ. And AD stands for Anno Domini, the meaning in the year of Lord of, and it refers to the period after the birth of Jesus Christ. If I ask you what is BC, BC stands for before Christ. It means before the birth of Jesus Christ, and AD means Anno Domini, after the birth of Jesus Christ. It is the picture of ancient inscription. The same events can be geographically represented in a timeline also. Birth of the earth 4500, 5500 millions of years, 500, 410, 440, 250, 360, 320, 290, 200, 140, the timeline 65, birth of Jesus Christ today. Geographical framework. The history of a country is influenced by its geographical factors. The Indian subcontinent has distinct geographical. I told you yesterday or the day before yesterday, name the countries of Indian subcontinent. Nepal, Bangladesh, you can write in your copy, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Pakistan and India are together called Indian subcontinent. The North Indian Gangetic Plain is very fertile. Hence, humans settled first around this region. The South Peninsula was divided into smaller regions by mountains, plateaus and river valleys. The Great Himalayas in the north act as a barrier between India and Central Asia. So, where the Great Himalayas is situated, as I already told you 2 days before, the Great Himalayas is situated in the north of India. It acts as a barrier between India and it also protects us from the enemy of India. The passes in the mountain formed routes of contact through which ideas, traditions, and culture were exchanged. There were two main trade routes. One stretched from the Hindu Kush mountains to the mouth of the Ganga and was called the Uttarapath. I already told you yesterday that there were two main trade routes. One stretched from the Hindu Kush mountains to the mouth of the Ganga and was called the Uttarapath. The other one was called Dakshin Panth, which stretched from Gujarat in the west to Patliputra in the east. The present name of Patliputra is Patna. The historians used the sources to interpret the history according to the periods and enabled us to learn about the past. The abstract history is an unending dialogue between the present and the past. What is history? History is an unending dialogue between the present and the past. What is history is constructed on the basis of different sources. Two kinds of historical sources are archaeological and literary ones, as I already told you. What are the archaeological sources? Include fossil remains, tools and implements, artifacts, monuments, coins, and written records like edicts and inscription. The literary sources are of two types, religious and secular. Time in history is demarcated by the terms BC or AD. Geographical division influences Indian history. The Indian subcontinent has distinct geographical features. Now I am going to tell you what are the countries which are included Indian subcontinent. I already told you. India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Nepal are included Indian subcontinent. You have to need to know, yesterday I also discussed it. Archaeology, the study of remains such as coins, inscriptions, buildings and monuments. What is the meaning of archaeology? Archaeology is the study of remains such as coins, inscriptions, buildings and monuments. What is manuscript? The old written documents or handwritten accounts. Manuscript means old written documents or handwritten accounts. Inscription means records engraved on pillars, stone, walls and gateways. Chronology means the sequence in which the events of past took place. What is history? History is the study of the events that happened in the past. I am asking you, one by one, you can write the question in your copy. First write, what is history? Write it. History is an unending dialogue between the present and past. Acha, can you tell me who is known as father of history? You can write in your copy, Herodotus is known as father of history. Now you can write what are the sources of history. Sources of history are two types, archaeological sources and literary sources. Give some example of archaeological sources. Fossil remains, tools and implements, edicts and inscriptions, artifacts, monuments, coins. What are literary sources? Religious texts and secular literature. Now can you tell me what are the religious literature? Ancient Indian literature was written in Prakrit, Pali, Sanskrit or Tamil. If I ask you, name the ancient Indian literature, it Prakrit, Pali, Sanskrit or Tamil. The language or the medium or expression varied from region to region. Region means area. As we can see, Mahabharata and Ramayana were written in Sanskrit, and it is the main epic of India. They were written in the North India where Sanskrit was the main language. However, in South India, Tamil Nadu is situated South India, Mani Mekalai and Silapakidam were written in Tamil and they were written in South India. Now, it is the picture of tools. It is the picture of tools. It is the picture of sculpture inside Ajanta cave. It is the picture of coins and it is the picture of Ramayana. Can you tell me who was Megasthenes? I already told lot of time. Megasthenes was a Greek ambassador. He came in the port of Chandragupta Maurya. Name the two Chinese traveler, Fai Yan and Huan Zhang. You can write in your rough copy. Who name the two Chinese traveler, Huan Zhang and Fai Yan. You can write in your rough copy. Who wrote Arthashastra? It was written by Kautilya. What is epigraphy? Study of inscription or epigraph is called epigraphy. The person who conducting the study is called an epigrapher or epigraphist. What is chronology? You can write in copy. I shall ask you tomorrow. Chronology is the order in which a series of events had happened. What is again I am going to tell you. Chronology is the order in which a series of events had happened. What do you mean by AD and BC? You can write in your copy. BC means before Christ, before the birth of Jesus Christ, as I also had already explained it, and AD means Anno Domini, after the birth of Jesus Christ. Full stop. What are the geographical? Again, I am telling you 2 or 3 times. I already told you the history of a country is influenced by its geographical factors. The Indian subcontinent has distinct geographical features. The North Indian Gangetic plain is very fertile. North India is very fertile for agriculture. Hence, humans settled first around this region. The South Peninsula was divided into smaller regions by mountains, plateaus and river valleys. The Great Himalayas in the north act as the barrier between the India and Central Asia. The passes in the mountain form routes of contact through which ideas, traditions and culture was exchanged. What is Uttarapanth? One stretched from the Hindu Kush mountains to the mouth of the Ganga and was called Uttarapanth. The other was called Dakshinapanth, which stretched from Gujarat in the west to Patliputra in the east. Now, what does the coins help us? Coins help us to learn about the ruler of a particular kingdom. What is the importance of coins? Coins help us to learn about the ruler of a particular kingdom. They also provide information about the religion and the extent of territories of the ruler. Coins also help us to learn about the ruler of a particular kingdom. Coins also provide information about the region and extent of territories to the ruler. Territory means area. Coins also tell us about the socio-economic condition of the kingdom. What are monuments? Ruins of buildings, caves, stupas and temples are of great historical importance. Stupas at Bharat and Sanchi and the caves at Ellora and Ajanta let us know a lot about the religion and art of ancient India. The temples at Mahabalipuram and at Nanjavur were not only places of worship but also centers of social and cultural life. Now, memory. First question, tick the correct answer. A. History is described as a study of man's evolution over dash of years. First, billions. Second, millions. Third, thousand. Tick millions. Number B. Who of the following is regarded as father of history? Question mark. Number 1, Herodotus, Aristotle and Socrates. Herodotus is the correct answer. C. Study of dash is called epigraphy. Number of inscription. Number 2, monuments, artifacts. Inscription is the correct. Number D. Dash was the main language of North India. Number 1, Telugu. Number 2, Tamil. Number 3, Sanskrit. Sanskrit is the correct answer. Number E. Arthashastra was written by Kautilya, Chanakya, Kalidas, Kautilya. Fill in the blanks. A. The records of past events are called dash sources of history. Number B. And dash is a royal command and edict is a royal command. Number C. A handwritten record of an event is called the dash manuscript. Number D. Ancient Indian literature was written in dash 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 Sanskrit, Prakrit and Pali. Number E. Dash was a Greek ambassador who visited India during the reign of Chandragupta Maurya, Megasthenes. Match the following. Number 3. Left hand side, A. Ellora and Ajanta. B. South Indian literature. C. Fossils. D. Huensang. Number E. AD. Right hand side, number 1. Remains of plants and animals. Number 2. Anno Domini. Number 3. Foreign traveler. Number 4. Tamil. Number 5. Monuments. Here only the Ellora and Ajanta will be monuments. South Indian literature, it will be Tamil. Fossils, remains of plants and animals. Huensang, foreign traveler. AD, Anno Domini. Now write in your copy. Answer in following question in 1 or 2 words. First question, or A. Name the science of exploring and excavating remains of the past. Archaeology. Answer will be archaeology. Number B. Name 2 archaeological sources, literacy sources, and archaeology. Name 2 archaeological sources. Right answer. Fossils and monuments. Number C. What are the experts who study archaeology called? Archaeologist.